So I'm looking forward to seeing them on the T side. They do start on the CT side, and I actually think that works better for 100 Thieves. Because although, like, again, you have a decent CT side, I think 100 Thieves on the T side are going to be able to set the pace. I think they're going to have, as said, like, the JKS being able to play pretty much wherever he wants and being aggressive and making things difficult. But I do think Heroic have a chance.
Well, let's see if they're going to have a chance to open this one up. As Gratisfaction's already taken damage as we get into it. It's Vertigo, it's 100 Thieves versus Heroic. And our second best one of the day. And Snappy, he could be tested early on here. Oh, finds a cheeky little opening headshot though. 1 bullet, 1 kill, Tom. And that's the damage done.
Yeah, strong shot. Jacob already gone. Now, we do have a bit of a lurk coming out from Gratisfaction elsewhere on the map, but as you can see, this is the common sort of strategy from them, making those plays in towards the say site, getting those Molotovs down, getting the smokes down, isolating the site. It's quite difficult to get back in now. You don't have that side wall, which was so convenient previously. This is also something that's done quite commonly. Just saw Hunden doing this a lot when we watched them previously, and well, yeah, this is the problem. After plant positions, when you don't have much utility, a singular smoke remaining for Cadian to try and get back in, and I don't think they're going to be able to do it.
No, at this point it looks like they're completely isolated out of the site. They do have 1 smoke and a kit, but they don't have the manpower as everyone is being dropped. JKS, as he dances behind the rope, trying to punish now. Going to push up, play a little bit more aggressive. Could be going for the backstab here if he wants to. Instead, it will just be the shutdown. No, it won't! How has he been able to survive through that? It won't matter. Still the round for 100 Thieves off the nice, very smooth, classical take towards the A site, Tom.
Yeah, I think it's great to see Gratisfaction get off to a good start as well. As mentioned, I think that when he plays very well is when 100 Thieves are most dangerous. Because I expect JKS to play well. I expect Azza to do well as well. So
he's also very just consistent in that. You can always kind of expect it, whereas with Gratisfaction it's a little bit more like you want it and you kind of need it for them to succeed. So it's very hit or miss.
Well, I'm actually surprised at how almost easy that take seemed, considering Snappy got the opening pick, but yeah, just good execution. As said, like, having a strong default A is going to be very important on a map like this because it's definitely the favored side. Like, there's no arguments there. It's been that way all the way through the map. And I don't think anything's going to be changing.
Cadian, he's got himself on a pedestal. Will he be able to back up this high height with high skill ceiling as he wields the MP9 if they do dare to push past him? Right now they're looking like they're just going to be keeping it safe, holding, waiting for any contact plays coming out from the CT side as they just defend.
Oh, S-tag. This is a spot that's Molotov so consistently, but when you only have 1 Molotov, I actually don't expect them to do it. I think he's going to be left, but probably checked. A little bit of aggression coming out from Stan. Of course, he's the only man who's been able to force in a rifle. And actually quite surprising to see them force in. A lot of teams do wait nowadays, but I suppose it does allow you to get all that extra utility. 40 seconds left, and hey, guess what? It's going to be that same default again.
It'll be the same default, but the extra trick that's up the sleeve of Heroic is going to be this one man with his Deagle. Flicks around. JKS losing his head as he goes down to that fight. Yeah, rather. JKS is over towards the B site. He is causing a bit of chaos. The bomb's rotated around. It was all a ruse towards the A site, Tom. And they've lampooned him into believing it. Oh, JKS winning all these fights as he dodges the bullets. And it is not looking good now for Heroic. Left into the 3 versus 3 retake.
And the one thing that sort of benefits them is they do have a fair amount of map control. Down again. He's been so good at getting picks back into the site. The only problem is they don't have a kit available to them. So as you mentioned, they kind of have to get their running shoes on. They need to get a move into this site. Down will fall as Azza sits holding with that AK, spots the second player as well, and S-Tag just makes the decision it's time to leave, but Cadian doesn't get the same reward. And JKS, I thought he was going to go hunting there, but just decides to retrieve the rifle. Again, a round which I feel like could have gone in the other direction. But ultimately, it's still 100 Thieves that are able to grind things out. And I like that late round call to go back to the B site.
Oh, yeah. Like, the quick thinking on that of the decision-making as soon as there was, like, a slight thorn in their side they didn't want to deal with was rapid. It works out very well and basically saves the round for them. It's also literally off the back of JKS being that very effective lurker.
Well, this round, not going to be particularly pretty. I'm not sure I've ever seen a hero Galil play. just ever.
But the future's now, old man.
Yeah, I don't think I even want to see it. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the gun. S-Tag's going to try the same thing, which I'll be surprised if he gets a kill again, just because it's such a commonplace, as said, to Molotov, and realistically, now that there's 3 Molotovs over on the T side, I would expect them to try and clear that position. Also, this sort of like little back alley is going to be one of the biggest points of contention on the whole map. Like, if the CT side can keep control of it, it gives them such a good avenue to try and flank people on the retake. If the T's gain control of it, it's a beautiful way to hold on to the map when the bomb goes down. So expect to see lots of battles on that position. Of course, this round, we can just sort of theorize and talk about what we expect to see, because although you do have a rifle onto S-Tag, I don't think he's going to get anything more than 1 kill. And well, there's the one, dinked up straight away. Now, Stown does also have Kevlar, because he's dead. Never mind. I was going to say he could give the weapon over, but his aggression is going to be punished. And once again, we're going to see a late rotation into this B site. This time, a little bit more time on the clock, and you're expecting the CTs just to try and attempt a bit of damage.
As role-playing as the bouncer right now, he's going to be checking IDs and not allowing Cadian in towards the site. Snappy does retaliate, and he is looking to have Snappy. Fierce stuff with this USP. 2 frags found, but no more to come. Jacob will punish, as he'll slay them, snatch away the Kalashnikov, fancies another face as he goes for the swing out. S-Attack down, and 3 rounds have now been confirmed for 100 Thieves.
That's really not bad, though. Like, without winning a round, I think that's as good as it gets. Like, you did a decent amount of damage across the few. Only 2 players survived. Like, you look at the T-side economy, other than JKS, everybody's actually out of cash. So, yeah, can't complain if you're heroic. And now you go into your Byron. You're not going to have the AWP just yet onto Cadian, but they focus heavily on that utility. I expect to see a challenge for the ramp with maybe a deep smoke or something, because so far hasn't been the case. But look at all these counter nades. I like this. Gratisfaction was more than ready for the Molotov to come in. They definitely seem prepared, but there is that smoke. Not actually as deep as you might expect. And S-Tag, as said, he's the man who knows every single angle. He seems to have done his prep on this map. Gratisfaction is actually going to be hiding in the smoke, and that's about to fade. And although Cadian goes down, S-Tag is actually still alive.
The timing worked out so well from there on the peak. Forced to reload, his opponents were susceptible to the attack, and now he's just slaying everyone that's in front of him. Gratisfaction's gone. And this gets really awkward. You're down to 2 boys left on the side of 100 Thieves. Vastly outnumbered and outgunned. And they're spread thin as well, Tom. They're not close towards each other. They can recover the bomb. Liaz actually gets a bit of a tag off. Surprisingly, does a fair bit of damage there and is able to stay alive and buys a bit of time. But they don't have much of it. 50 seconds left on the clock to try and make their minds up in what they want to do here.
And it's looking like an attempt to go back to B, but you can see the CT side fairly well prepared for this. Barup, always playing that anchor role, has put down a late smoke to at least burn down the clock just that little bit more. Has an HE, but I don't think that's going to really be much of a case. And Liaz is so far behind that you almost have to wonder if JKS has to just make this play on his own. It's only going to be about 15 seconds left. Molotov thrown into the angle. Barup, as said, he doesn't have a smoke, so he has to peek out. And JKS is going to get that opener. Down. A frag is minimum. If he dies without nothing, they're in real trouble. And, well, that Molotov going over could be enough. It's not quite going to deny the plant, but Snappy jumps in, and he's done just that. Round over. Can't kill off Liaz at least, who only has 11 HP, but is just looking to survive in the corner. And as mentioned, although it's heavy damage to the CT economy, the T's had already done, or sorry, the T's had already taken enough damage over the last few rounds that this is now going to be a problem.
Yeah, that is a huge save as well, though. Bounding through the window, coming over the boost, denies the bomb plant in what otherwise would have been a good situation for 100 Thieves there, and Heroic saved themselves from a horrible 4th round being given over to 100 Thieves. Good stuff. They are going to be reinvesting as well. It's a little bit shaky in what they can bring out. They do have some cash to splash, though, so it won't be too bad for them. It's looking to be a FAMAS and an MP9 in play. They've got some utility as well. At least they've got a kit.
I think the other thing to mention as well is that Molotov. Because I'm pretty sure that Molotov, it may have been meant to kill the guy, but it definitely left Snappy knowing that he has to be planting there.
Yeah.
So he took the risk. It paid off. A smart decision from him. But this is sort of the difference at the moment. Like you look at this round normally, or at least previously, and go, oh, they're not going to be able to get many rifles. But as they're able to afford a Galil, Then you have the saved SG, an extra SG for JKS, and a couple of pistols. It's not even a bad buy. In fact, it's almost as good, if not maybe even better, than the CT one.
I mean, the stopping power they actually have with those weapons, absolutely. They could do so much with the picks, especially with the Krieg staying up. Gratisfaction does fall. It's not the worst thing in the world. He wasn't that well geared, so it's not going to matter too much as this round develops. And they have headed back over towards B instantly. They've done pretty good in the past, JKS. He's done a good job of being able to open up the site. Can he do it again this time? Barup waiting around. As soon as he gets contact, he'll cast out the smoke, try and back off, just delay. He just wants to stay alive at this point. He's got the MP9. So he's going to be waiting for that contact to come around. Here's the face. He does spot them. There's the smoke. And it's all about the chaos now, Tom.
Yeah, not the best position, though. And he's going to be falling back. Doesn't have a rifle. Peeking into the Molotov is Liaz, but doesn't really do too much damage. And I don't actually know if the CTs are going to be able to do anything here. I think this is almost worth a save. Like, getting back into the site is difficult. Nice work from Stown. At least finds a pick. He does the same again. And actually, Barup gets a second. There's possibilities for them here. They're looking much better than expected, considering the after-plant positions taken by 100 Thieves. It's left on to Azza and, well, now Liaz, and they actually get wrecked. We're up with a triple kill off an MP9. As said, like, I looked at that situation and didn't see a way back into it, especially with most of their players coming in from the same angle, but hey, that was a fantastic retake.
Yeah, I mean, they made it work. They got the picks they needed. It's a huge clutch round to win out as well for the flow of the game. This is going to be great for the motivation on Heroic. Also, you get 2 Kriegs now in play on the CT side for absolutely free. That's a bonus that's been chucked in there. This is going to be great for them. This could set them up for a lot of success. It looks like we are going for a pause as well. You can hear a lot of tip-tapping as the typing comes across from both of the parties.
But yeah, already. I think something to note for sure is that so far, it's almost seemed like 100 Thieves has somewhat been funneled towards the B site. Because it's firstly where they've had most of their success, so it's understandable. But also, S-Tag with his early aggression onto the ramp has been massively successful. Like, okay, only 6 kills, but top of the server, 130 ADR. And a lot of it was just off individual brilliance, which, sure, you had a lot of utility to back him up. But normally you send maybe 2-3 players around that angle to fight that. They've just left him there on his own. And I think that's invaluable for the Heroic side, especially considering at the moment, at least, it seems like 100 Thieves are sending a lot of their firepower over onto B because of their early success.
Yeah.
Money-wise now, they're left in a bit of trouble. They sort of got away with a force buy in the last round, but this time it's not going to be so pretty. So I think this gives a good opportunity for Heroic to get off the mark and, more importantly, build some money, because there's a man sat on 8 ADR at the moment, and I feel the reason is because he has not been able to get his AWP in play, which is what you want to be seeing from Cadian. He's not going to be the flashiest AWPer in the world. He's not going to be that man that just goes like running aggressively, or at least I don't expect him to be. You never know. Maybe with playing a top-tier opposition, they might be a little bit more snazzy, but he is going to be the guy that's sort of calm, collected, and will hit his shots when he needs to.
You'd hope so. We need him to be consistent, really, for Heroic here if they want to try and start to get some momentum going. They have to carry on well with this, though. They've just picked up that following round in a row, so that's now 2 now at the bank. It's a 3-2 split here. Talking of bank, 100 Thieves, they don't really have a lot of cash, Tom. They're not going to be able to invest into too much. P250's out to play. You've got a Deagle on parade as well. 1 smoke, 1 flash. Let's see what they're going to opt to go for here. If we'll once again see a return to the fast aggressive takes towards the A site. This might not work out too well for him, though. As Snappy is sprinted down, he's willing to just go all-out aggressive gratisfaction. He had an opportunity there to do so much. A bit of a backstab came through, but nothing works. He can't punish with the P250. Instead, it's S-Tag to just spray away with the Krieg and leave all of them laid out on the ground.
Ooh, maybe fighting a little bit too much, though. This is a round where 100 Thieves haven't really invested too much. He got the man advantage and decided to stick around. Again, you can kind of see why. He had the Krieg, they had pistols, but peeking into 3 different players, he's given an opportunity here. He's also given 2 rifles over, 3... Oh no, sorry. Lea's just got chucked 1 because he has Kevlar, but luckily, the amount of damage done means that this shouldn't be possible. But at the same time, with those weapons we've got... Oh, okay. Liaz, nice shot. Nice entry into the site. Leaves Cadian here alone. There is a rotation eventually going to be coming in from Stown, but it's a little bit late to the party. He's in on the flank. Bomb going to be going down. He should at least be able to deny any chances of winning the round, especially with that kill. He's just got to be careful of Liaz, who still has that back passage to make his way through, waiting carefully, but Cadian, he stayed alive, got his first couple of kills, as said. I think it's important that he performs, but hey, let's take this round as it was. That was a few pistols, and they killed 3 players and got a bomb plant.
Oh yeah, like for 100 Thieves, they're going to be pretty damn happy with that. Out of everything you could have walked away with, considering the position they were in, where it was really just a scrap on the ramp, they're lucky to have been able to have done so much damage, and now they get a buy like this because of it. You know, would you have even known, Tom, that the Krieg was nerfed with the price going up?
Krieg Fest. Ugh. It's like, I enjoy... The thing is, I still really enjoy just seeing someone not scope in and hit a headshot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you now know that it's not that hard. So it makes it kind of... It devalues it. Because at least in the past, that was enjoyable. But there you go. Good start from Cadian. He takes that aggressive fight early on. Gradius faction is the unlucky duckling, I would say. Not so much the ugly one, but he's got that beautiful tag.
Oh, he's a good looking lad.
But they do seem to be finding him on the opener. Jacob just with a quick push up the ramp. I think S-Tag may have let them pass, but not the second time. Fantastic work from him. He's been an absolute star so far in the beginning of this game. And JKS, well, as you mentioned, he's playing that lurk role. A lot of his role relies on his teammates getting the bomb down. Then he can play him from behind. You'll see Stown doing exactly the same thing. In fact, he's even done it on the CT side. Not so much expected. And definitely not expected by JKS.
Oh, no. Oh, you cheeky gamer. Go on.
Please just kill him.
No, he's going
to... Okay.
He's chopping that meat.
Oh, it makes me... That makes me sweat. Especially when it's like the 17-year-old playing up against JKS. If he just spins around, one-taps him, you know that Stown's just going to be like...
And then wins the whole round. Oh, that's a nightmare. That's great, though, as a frag to walk away with, especially as a bit of a cash injection they could do with the extra money.
Yeah, for sure, especially considering I think they must... Yeah, they did save the orb, so that's good at least. Mm-hmm. But yeah, S-Tag's killing it. And he's killing it on one of the hardest positions on the whole map. Like, that A-ramp is... As I said, you normally send 2 or 3 players, and they even did early in this round. But the fact that he was able to just triple spray down 3 different players... He's the main reason they have the lead at the moment.
Well, he also seems like... It does look almost as if Heroic have definitely done their research on the A-takes we've seen coming out from 100 Thieves, because JKS has basically been doing the smoke from spawn from the start. However, S-Tag, it's not affected him. He's still been able to play around it so efficiently that he knows all of those angles, as you said. He's never really overexposed, which is probably the best thing you could possibly hope for at this point. Cadian on the AWP, still switching it up, roaming a little bit, which is nice to see, trying to keep it fresh. Let's see if he'll be finding some flesh with this AWP, though.
And this is one of those spots where, with the X-ray, it's always that little bit extra confusing. I am getting surprised at how much 100 Thieves are able to do with pistols.
Oh, they're naughty.
Like, they almost went around not too long ago. I wouldn't even be surprised if they do take this one. And it's, like, that's the thing. Like, a Hero Galil at the moment, it's not even that much of an investment anymore. Like, what is it? What's the price? Is it 16? Is something ridiculously low? Like, isn't it below an MP7 or something?
I think so, because it's like stupidly cheap now.
So yeah, it's not even a detriment really for him to just buy that up. He still has plenty of money. It's about as much as if he bought a few grenades and a pistol. So it's definitely worth it. I'm not sure I like it, but it means that we see it a little bit more in competitive play. But it also means that those early buys can be way more deadly. 40 seconds up and coming on the clock, and as we already mentioned, a couple of tagged players. Barup's going to be pressured once again, saving his utility for late, getting into a decent position. Nade even does the damage, and there's a reason they leave him alone on this site. Oh, great hold from him. 3 kills and leaves now just JKS. 25 seconds. I'm not saying it's a good idea to die, but I don't really see a way he wins this round. Just trying to do as much damage as possible. Take a few players down with him, of course. You've got Stown, who's currently got the AWP off of Cadian. Even picking up a rifle, it wouldn't even be that bad to stay alive now, but I feel like he needs a kill, otherwise it's not really worth it.
Yeah, he was hungry for the frag. He wanted to try and at least punish if he could. I mean, they were all quite low, especially if you would have got the AWP off them and been able to get that out of the play completely. That would have been great, but not going to go down like that. But as you said, Barupt, like, as a one-man B anchor, just locking it down, he did huge into that round. So efficient. The only times we've actually seen him fall have been the late round backstabs by JKS.
Yeah.
Like, when they've actually gone for straight-up pushes against him, he's either delayed very effectively or got like 1 to 2 frags on the push and been able to buy enough time.
Yeah, this is definitely a map where Heroic as well are very comfortable. And I don't think they're going to be worried about their T side either. As said, I think they've got some great B side executions that 100 Thieves are going to have to deal with. So I'm actually looking for a little bit more from 100 Thieves at the moment. And again, Nestaggy's finally been caught. It was 1 HP left for Azza. Snappy's going to go down without a fight as well. And now Stown has everything to do. He's had a decent start to this game. The nade goes over the top. I thought that might be a frag, but isn't to be the case. And he's getting whittled away. Now has support from Cadian, but these are the sort of classic smokes that we've seen on this map since almost the very beginning. Of course, they've changed it a little bit because you don't really need to smoke off that other side anymore. But here's Barup. Quick flag, one spray down. I thought he had the chance for more. Now they're looking a bit out of this.
That could have been incredible, Tom. Basically, could have had a round salvaged right there. Instead, it all comes down to Cadian. At this point, he's just trying to back off as well, but he's going to be running straight into the unknown. Almost got the AWP out, but he couldn't draw it in time, and Liaz is going to be eliminating him. 5-4 as 100 Thieves are back in the game.
Yeah, I think Barup needed to. Like, if he gets 2 there, that's a different story altogether. And Liaz, well, that's what we talk about when we talk about the late flank. That's what I expected to see eventually from JKS, but it was actually from Liaz. They switched it up for this round, and hey, it worked much better. Now you look at sort of the detriments of the CT side, like losing a couple of players here and there in those pistol rounds and struggling in some of these rounds, is that they have taken a lot of damage to their economy. Cadian, I think that's 3 or 4 rounds in a row now that he's got an opening pick.
Well, the thing is, he's been roaming a lot with the AWP, so at least he's been keeping them guessing. However, every time, basically, he's head over to try and find a first pick on the A site towards ramp, he's got one, basically, for free. Ooh, not the follow-up, though. A bit of an awkward miss as he barely brushes his way through Gratisfaction. No connection through the spam, and he's just going to back off. But this could be quite nice. JKS, put up on a pedestal, elevated up, as he's going to be looking to try and find a frag early on here. There's no one around, though. It's quiet. There's no sound or no one to be found here.
Cadian again. Like that's the thing. We've seen him get a pick or 2, but it's mainly just been that early round and then he gets traded. So the fact that he's managed to double here, it's already a bit of a problem. Of course, there's still some loss bonus available for 100 Thieves if things don't go well. Barup also back onto an MP9. We've already seen him get 3 kills with it, and you can see desperately trying to pick him off. That is a wonderful boost. JKS gets the opener. Now things become troublesome as Stown has to get into this site quickly. Luckily, Cadian was rotating in at the time, so any sort of cross towards the site going to be a bit tough. The flashbang does its job, though. But they're going to be waiting patiently, and the T's still feeling the need to fight back a little bit here. Still smokes available as well for Heroic. They've got a good chance.
They have a chance, but they don't have a kit. Meaning they're going to have to try and speed things up here as they push their way in towards the site. It's going to be more so on those rifles to do the damage. S-Attack's gone. Such a key member of the squad. The backstab there from Liaz as well. And it's all gone wrong, Tom. They've got to run away with their tails between their legs. Cadian, luckily enough, had a smoke to try and delay this, or at least stop the push, but it doesn't matter! He's got thermal vision eyes, Tom. How has he done this?
Oh, dear.
That's disgusting.
I'm hoping for that. Oh, he even kills Cadian right at the end. So well played from Liaz, and actually over the last few rounds, he's been the difference maker. 12 and 6. He just stepped up out of nowhere. We saw in the last round as well, he was very impactful, and those 2 rounds are enough to completely destroy Heroic's economy. So what was a strong build into this half from them has been completely diminished in 2 rounds.
Oh yeah, the stocks are rising, but he has just caused an absolute crash. Like, that's wild. The fact he's been able to have so much impact into a round, and impacting the game as a whole as well. As you said, now 12 frags. And when he gets fired up, it's quite hard to actually cool him off.
Yeah, obviously, they don't really feel like new additions anymore, but when he was added in, a bit of a slower start, but he definitely seems to be rising into this roster. A great addition in the end, and now 5-all. This is the freebie. Luckily for them as well, going into the next round, there's not going to be an AWP, or if there is, it would have to be glass cannon. So it's a good position for them that they've been able to remove that, because that's been one of the things they've really been struggling with, is the AWP of Cadian. And in fact, in the last round, they lost 2 opening picks, and then that 1 boost. And I think that's the first time, as we said, that we've seen Barup get properly overwhelmed. And when he does, when they realize how to get rid of him, now that's a problem for Heroic, because they were really relying on the fact that, okay, we don't have to worry about B because Barup has it on lock.
They haven't been tested like too many times in terms of straight up just B pushes as well from the start of the round. They've started to be willing to go for it a little bit more now the later this game's developed. But I don't know. Barup, if they've got his number, that is definitely going to be a scary factor. They're going to have to try and rotate players off of A. At this point, it's been, what, the 3-man aggressive push to try and actually counter everything that 100 Thieves have been throwing at them as well. So they could be spread far too thin here as this one continues on. They are going to go for a bit of a pause, though. Slow it down right now, hash it out before we resume. The 6-5 scoreline. It's been incredibly close, at least. It's not been, you know, too one-sided. They are trading back and forth.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, some of the things, for example, for Heroic could easily be adapted. Like, the one thing that I think affected them quite badly there is they didn't have anyone in mid. So if you allow that boost to come in, Barup is screwed. But it's a boost that you can't really get away with if there's someone in mid. Well, you definitely can't get away with, because you have to stand up high on an elevated position. Like, it shouldn't be something possible, but they gambled on other positions on the map. They had rotations going the other way, and it just screwed Barup for that round and also wrecked their economy. This round, though, that lurk coming out from JK is going to do nothing, and their aggression onto this A ramp has been great all the way through this map so far, and it's successful for them once again.
We did see the glass cannon orb come out for Cadian. Luckily enough, though, he hasn't been exposed to too much damage and been shattered, as he's got the backup of the big boys. S-Tag, that's been so impactful over the course of the game thus far, waiting. He has support. They're going to hear the footsteps. They go for a nice double face. They do spook Azza. Jacob, he trades it straight through. He's been able to annihilate them as he nails them through the wood. This is where it could get awkward. Cadian holding a bit of a curt angle as he's up top. He's so exposed. He turned the flash, but you can't turn bullets.
Oh, it's tagging again, but the trade does come back through the smoke. Into a 2 versus 2. Bomb is going to be planted, and with the nades down, they have a decent position here again. Barup's on the flank. They should expect this at this point, but he wins the duel just about. Still, Azarin with a good chance. In fact, he's coming on the wraparound. Doesn't quite spot Barup. And they don't have a kit, so he has to get on this bomb fairly soon, looking in the wrong direction. Azza is going to play that perfectly. And now Barup, he's kind of left with nothing to do. Azza with the clutch. 3 kills coming in for him. And while this is going to be back down to absolutely nothing for the CT side.
100 Thieves could very easily build quite a large lead off this now. Heroic basically broken. That's also going to be a frustrating round. That's the way it developed. It looked like it was basically theirs to walk away with, and then they just got crushed. Huge play coming through from Azza in the late game. 7-5. Ideally, it should be an 8-5, unless the Deagles just pop off to miraculous levels. I can't really imagine. 100 Thieves have been the team that are just far too lethal. Pistols, not Heroic.
But that's the difference in these teams. I think that the strategical basis of 100 Thieves is far more loose, where I think the Heroic have a lot of like strong defaults and strong setups. The problem is some of the individual players on 100 Thieves just have this skill ceiling that it's difficult to beat. We've seen a great performance out from Liaz, who's been really tough to deal with. Azza with the clutch, just mentioned. And the funny thing is they're currently winning this game with JKS actually being fairly underwhelming.
Well, the thing is, he's not actually had to do too much of the heavy hitting. He's basically just been providing that lurk roll and opening up sites when he had to, right? But everyone else has been doing more than enough to make up for it, which is huge. That's the dream with a team like 100 Thieves. They're back to the old Classico, though. The smoke take on towards the A site. The bomb's going to go down, but this is a bit different. Heroic, they go for an absolute stampede, and it's working well. The bull rush pays off as both of the S-boys do some damage, starting to smash their way through the onslaught that is being laid out by the terrorists, and it's all up to JKS. A 1v2. You mentioned his name, Tom. Is that going to invoke the damage that he can deal? Finds the first. The head removed from Barupt. Waits for the peak. Finds it. And saves the day for 100 Thieves.
Of course. That's just the classic commentator curse, isn't it? It hasn't been needed, as you sort of said. And yeah, when he is. The thing that's so awesome about that as well is after he sprays, just the instant thought of, okay, I've sprayed there, they know I'm there, I'm going to get peeked from behind, and just the flawless headshot as well. It must be so wonderful to not only have him, but also have Azza, who can do exactly the same thing, like get you a clutch. The one thing that does worry me, though, is like, I feel like going forward in the tournament, if you play against some of the like pure fragger teams, it might be a little bit more difficult to win rounds like that. They've had a few clutch rounds which have sort of kept them in the lead and made this half look a little bit more in their favor. I think Heroic have been in this all the way through, and that was, again, that was only a pistol round. Like, they shouldn't have even been close in that round, and it comes down to JKS having to win a 1v2? What? That's not what you want to see from 100 Thieves.
I mean, they've been keeping the game incredibly close at every single portion of it. Hashtag, he did damage in the past here. It's been a bit of a filthy angle to work from through the sandbags. If he does catch a little bit of ankle, a small amount of skin, he'll probably be able to punish. Instead, goes for a boulder play. Straight over the top, rips his way through the first. Grassfaction falls. There's the follow-up on the second as Jacob is done for. And now it just comes down to the two boys that have been so naughty on the lurk.
Yeah, we've seen them turn rounds already. Like, we saw a 5v3 earlier where they had a cheeky little boost. If they get that boost anywhere near in play again, I'll be quite frustrated because I think that should be a one and done. 40 seconds left. Not a whole lot of utility available for the CT side, at least in terms of stopping power, but there's the one grenade coming in from mid. And actually, they're going to hear that. That's so much information per up. That's quite risky, though. He goes for the fight, faces into JKS, which is never something you want to be doing. Gives away a further man advantage. Stown gets one out, and it is now left all onto JKS. This would be far more incredible than the last, as he is into a 1 versus 3. Just going to be trying to fake out the bomb. He wants them to peek into him. He wants them to face up against him. The spam through the smoke isn't quite there, and he goes peeking from behind. The Snappy is going to close this out. Still, I still get nervous in those scenarios. That's the thing. That's how good he is, but not this time. 8-6. I think an 8-7 scoreline for Heroic really is not bad at all. I think confidence-wise, they'll be fairly happy with that, especially as said, I think they have a good T side. But at the same time, we haven't seen them have to face off against, other than Pro League, a team with, say, site anchors as good as JKS. So I think it's going to be tough for them, but I think if they get this last round and don't let it slip, they'll be fairly content.
This is the one difference here from 100 Thieves as well. This time, way more heavy stack towards the B side. Normally, we've seen those late round takes. JKS leading the charge. He's been so successful. He's had Barup's number in a lot of these rounds when he's gone in on the lurk, with all of his team backing him up, with a whole group of the boys there, with utility in hand, ready to go for a classic site take. Is this going to work out for him? They should have a fast rotation over the boost, or if not, just holding the angle. The jump's been missed though, Tom. This leaves them a little bit susceptible. They've been able to gain site control already. Barup's going for the wild spam, but taking way more damage than he hoped for.
Yeah, at least managed to get a quick rotation, but this is sort of as good a situation as you can get for 100 Thieves. Like, they can just sit back in the angles, try and burn down the clock. Luckily for Heroic, they have a hell of a lot of utility. They still have the Incendiary available to them, and HE, a couple of smokes, and Stown, he needs this kill. Oh, JKS doesn't get it, but Liaz has found a kill elsewhere. The push down coming in from behind, S-Tac once again, and now Gratisfaction in an impossible scenario. Strong retake coming in from Heroic, a few slip-ups here and there, but they close out the half 8-7, and to be honest, after losing a couple of 1v2s, it definitely could have been more. Either way, there is going to be a short break. We'll be back and show you the result of this game.
Welcome back, everybody, as we carry on with what has been a very close matchup here between 100 Thieves and Heroic. We switch things around now. 100 Thieves over on the CT tide. CT tide? CC. Oh, Tom, I can't speak.
CT side.
Thank you very much, Tom. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that.
Now you can carry on.
Yeah, on the CT side. Hopefully, they'll be able to carry on looking as good as they did on the T side. They have quite a few clutch rounds coming in. Big way to close out the half. Where do they go from here, though, as we delve back into it? Aggressive play in towards the B site, and it's an awkward spam with a USP, but the follow-up headshot is pinpoint precise.
Yeah, Azza has fallen in the meantime. It's Liaz. These flashbangs have just been on point. Like, Gratisfaction has left so many players blind. He's finally given his recognition. Oh, that's going to make things very tough. Those were both his flashbangs, by the way, that completely wrecked Heroic twice.
Oh, yeah.
That was flawless stuff. Marcadian left 1 versus 4. Need a bit of a miracle here, but is Liaz going to get the ace? He basically has to just go and give Gratisfaction a kiss after that. Anticlimactic, but yeah.
Incredibly scared off the back of the decoy. They're trying to give him the ace. No denying the 5 today. Jacob stashes it away. There you have it, as they will claim the pistol round. 4 kills, and they were actually pretty damn disgusting, Tom.
Even though he got 4 kills, I'm still giving the man of the round to Gratisfaction. Because to be fair, he did whiff quite a lot of shots. It was just that they were so blind that they were just like, oh, where is he? Where is he? I can't see anything. And it was sick. That was a sick couple of flashbangs. So I'm giving the mustache man the respect he deserves. But yeah, of course, Liaz still got 4 kills. So good round from them. Pissed around on the board. We're actually going to see an investment back in with a hell of a lot of utility. Love to see it. 4 smokes, a couple of Molotovs set up and ready for Heroic. And as said, I think they have a fairly decent B execute. So I would like to see them attempt that again. Now, in the last round, they didn't have much utility. They're actually going to get into middle. I don't think too much of their utility will be used here. It might just be as a setup so that they could split back in the other direction. A smoke is actually going to be thrown over with a couple of flashbangs to try and force back Azza, and actually looking like they're going to try and pincer into the B site instead. A bit of a change. I like the idea. Good shot from Stown to start things off, but it's this man again that they've got to try and clear from the site. Liaz spraying wildly. I think he knows that there's players coming in from all directions, and Snappy's there to close him out, but quick rotations coming in from 100 Thieves, doing a lot of damage along the way. S-Tag with the dig. I don't know how Stown isn't dead. Now S-Tag left alone. A 1 versus 2 versus MP9's definitely not the ideal weapons, but he's left with only a dig, and eventually JKS is there to close things out. 3 kills for him, 3 SMG kills, in fact, and they're only going to retrieve 1 of the rifles. Unfortunately for Heroic, they now have to take the hit.
Yeah, they are going to have to take that one on the chin. From a position that looked like it could have been a fairly nasty scratch left on 100 Thieves, they somehow bring it back and make it work.
I think the idea was really good. I like that. Like the execution of it wasn't bad. Like the wrap through middle, I think middle is criminally underused on this map. Like, yeah. I think there's a lot of opportunities for the T side there. Unfortunately for them, yeah, just a few of the early battles didn't quite go well enough. I think if they get maybe the kill on Liaz just that little bit faster, they get the bomb down. But there was something that 100 Thieves did very well that, again, you have to give props to them for. Their rotations were fantastic. They got there so quick that it made it very difficult for anybody on the T side to actually plant the bomb.
To 7. Slower round from Heroic. Not really too much to work with. 2 flashbangs and S-Tag, that's it. That's all the utility they actually have. They could have the edge here, though, towards mid if they actually opt to try and head over there. Gratisfaction has been seen. His little footsies peeking out. Nice play with the flash as he will be able to extend his way back across. Everyone else is slowly rotating, though, to group up. They're going to start to bolster and get ready for a bit of a burst here, Tom.
I wonder how they're going to get anything done in this scenario, though. Just bare bones pistols, a singular flashbang onto S-Tag, and the chance for 100 Thieves to really just farm up the cash. Kadian at least going to be able to get 1. But that will be it. And that's exactly what you want when you have a round like the previous, where it's a little bit close. You lose a few players and a few weapons. Get a nice clean one. Gratisfaction could buy straight into the AWP, which considering how most teams actually play the ramp, I'd quite like to see it. Like, have the chance to really take those fights, get in the faces of them, and that's exactly what they're going to do. But now we actually see Heroic with a decent buy. So this has been the sort of, I don't want to say freebie rounds because one of them was pretty close, but this has been where the foot is off the gas. This is now where we see if 100 Thieves are going to be truly tested or if this is going to be a waltz to the finish.
Yeah, this will give us a good understanding of the game going forward here in round 19. S-Tag, he was so effective on the CT side. However, on the T side, he's not even breathing. He's been taken out in a matter of seconds there by JKS. They can probably upgrade to that Krieg as well, which is actually going to be a bit awkward as this round develops on. 4 Ts remain, 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock. They're starting to push in towards the B site, and they do get a pick. Cadian does damage against Jacob. This could work out quite nicely if they actually want to try and head on over and recommit right now. It's only Liaz that's waiting on B. The rest of them grouped up fairly heavily towards mid with JKS over at A. And we're seeing that slow push in from Barat.
That's the thing, though. It's like, at least in that moment, I felt like Stown, it looked like he was waiting on the angle for Azza, and that could have been the moment that gives them a kill. Definitely expect a lot of the youngster, but it could have been an important moment. Liaz doing the exact same role as Barat was. A couple of pre-fires to try and get the entries, but it's Liaz once again. He has been great so far on this B side. Tough man to take down, but he does eventually fall. However, it's seeming like too little, too late. That's fantastic, though. Barat with 2 kills. Is he going to expect JKS from behind? I don't think he is. Again, these rotations from JKS have been spot on. He's so quick at getting in from behind that he's already further up the stairs that you'd expect. The thing that worries me a little bit is the longer he takes, the more Barat might expect it, but I guess it never really crossed his mind that he could be coming in from behind, and, wow, you're not going to get an easier kill than that.
That's so rough. It's literally what was happening on his T side as well. The same play, the same moves, and the same result. Success for JKS over up to B. Another round secured for 100 Thieves. Quite a close one, though. At least it went down to a 1v1, so, you know, it wasn't just a whitewash for 100 Thieves. They aren't continuing on in that dominant form they had when they had the advantage over Heroic with weaponry. But it's still scary, Tom, because, yeah, sure, you're weaning out the cash in 100 Thieves, but that scoreline is getting pretty bloated. You don't have long.
Yeah, I think that the bigger problem for Heroic at this point is there's something we sort of spoke about at the beginning, that sure, like strategically, to be honest, I'd say it's either much of a muchness or I'd give it to Heroic.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm talking about actual like pure base strategy on this map, they're the ones that are more well practiced. I think they've thrown in more different things. The problem is, if you're playing against 100 Thieves, the clutch capability of this roster is off the charts. And we've seen, what, 3 or 4, maybe 1v1s, 1v2s, whatever you like, and 100 Thieves have taken every single one. And it's done huge amounts of damage to the economy. And those are also the rounds that like pump you up and get you going, and Heroic have had none of those. So it's got to be quite demoralizing at this point that there's been opportunities for them, but I don't think at this point they're going to be able to bring this back unless something drastic changes. Nice couple of kills coming in, but again, a decent Molotov will stop them being able to plant the bomb. And now, well, Jacob well placed. Don't think they expected Snappy to go through there, but okay, that should be, oh, just about gets away with that. Very close.
Yeah, I'm so lucky. Well, that nade would have sent him off sleeping with the fishes. Snappy's holding around.
He's got to get the bomb.
Yeah, that angle's being covered, though.
Good luck.
Liaz has it. Almost, but the bullet's going to slow him down, grind him to a halt, and then completely grind him up into a pulp as well. Now it's just on this. 50 seconds left. The longest rotation, the great migration here, with just the CZ in hand and 20 HP. Probably not too much that can be done. I mean, the thing is, what does he actually want to go for outside of trying to risk this? There's not really much to save. There's no real reason to, unless he can find himself a gun. Potentially the M4 there, squirrel that away and just get out of there. That might be the best bet, unless he's really feeling quite ballsy, Tom.
Yeah, money-wise, he's going to get max loss bonus, so I can kind of understand him just wanting to make sure he has a Krieg or an AK. And then, yeah, exactly, just goes straight back in. So I'm not really surprised that he tries to do some damage there to the CT economy with an extra weapon that he's going to have. On the other side, again, the T's are going to be buying up with the same thing, but this is basically it. Like, if they don't manage to win this round, I just think they're going to be too far gone. I think the 100 Thieves are far too clutch in a lot of these scenarios, and I think Liaz has been phenomenal. Like, on the T side, he was one of the men to watch, and now he's gone onto the CT side. His B site hold has been, well, perfect. That they haven't lost a round, and they've challenged it pretty much every round.
They've been so in control of the game that it's just so hard for Heroic to really do too much at all. Gratisfaction, love to see it. The aggressive play with the AWP over towards Ram. Is he going to get a pick though? Cadian, he was fairly successful the entire time he went for the fights over towards CT. Gratisfaction, we're all with this one smoke, no one's going to be connected on. It's just a bit of a Mexican standoff here. As soon as Cadian peeks in though, he gets a taste of his own medicine, delivered by Gratisfaction's AWP.
Yeah, and they haven't really been able to do too much as of yet to force them out of position. Like, this is where you kind of hope that you'd have your own AWP, but at least Snappy is going to be able to get a pick back. He takes so much damage in response, though. It's down. Against some, I would say, lower tier opposition, he was very good at getting in on flanks on the T side, but it seems like thus far, there hasn't been an occasion where the bombs go down for him to do that. Like, he can't like lurk in middle if the rest of his team are dying, and Jacob, he's so aggressive in this spot. This is a position you have to check for, and we gave credit to the T side, or to Heroic at least, for clearing so many angles. They were not ready for that, and although S-Tag gets the trade in the end, it's too little too late. The damage has been done, the thorn in their side has been pierced, and leaves still 2 players remaining. I just don't see a way into this round. They've got so little time left on the clock. 15 seconds left. Gratisfaction turning up with a shotgun and even the instant headshot as well. Good round from 100 Thieves. Strong stuff from Jacob. But I do have to say, that's a little bit disappointing.
I mean, that's basically been the definition of the entire second half here, Tom.
Yeah.
It's just been a little bit sad. Like, there's been so many opportunities where it could have been amazing, but it just consistently gets snatched away from them. 100 Thieves, every single time there's been an opportunity for a clutch, they basically won it. And it's rough.
Well, not going into the last few rounds of the CT side, haven't needed it. No. Like, I think that is a position that's obviously newly added into the map, but that's one that you see Heroic utilizing all the time. And even, as said, when I saw them in Sweden, that was something they would have checked. So I almost think that maybe they're like a bit demoralized or mentally checked out at this point, because at some point I was expecting S-Tag to turn around and just basically wallbang that, because it's such a common spot now for players to take those risky peeks, take those fights. And Jacob, hey, he did his job. He timed it well. He got in the back. He got 2 kills. And at that point, I personally thought the round was over, because to come back from that with 20 seconds left is so difficult.
Nice nade in theory. No one going to be there to receive that little gift, though. They'll be riddled with a shrapnel. Instead, they're backing off, resetting themselves. They head over towards spawn. Going to be setting up with the smokes in towards the B site. Gratisfaction with an early Molotov to deny the push. Will ignite the stairs, but no one is there to fall for it and run into it. Here comes the follow-up with the flashbangs, though, as it will be a B bonanza going down. Liaz needs to be effective. Finds the first, starts to win his way through, but the jump for the window is impeccable, Tom. So much damage done. It doesn't matter that he's fallen, as he set up his teammates for so much success in the round. It's only Snappy left. This has gone horrendously for Rowan.
Yeah, Liaz has been unreal. Like, he has been so good in so many rounds, and they have no response. Like, as said, like, I don't, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I think, like, oh yeah, 100 Thieves, they're not as good as Heroic strategically, but at the same time, I don't think they've even needed to be. Like, you see those sort of plays, like the jump through the window, an aggressive peek and spraying down 3 players. That is fantastic work. And the Heroic have had no response to just the individual prowess of this. Stoun's just bought a P90, for God's sake. Like, that's when you know that things really have gone tits up, when you're going, maybe a P90 is the right choice. Like, I still think it's one of the most trash weapons in the whole game. Like, he'll probably get a kill with it now. He'll probably get like a 4K now, knowing my luck, but... Okay.
JKS going down instantly there.
Oh my god, he has
Oh,
a
it's
spell.
happening, Tom. You brought on the curse of the P90 as he holds W and starts spraying. 2 frags found. He's going to be hungering for more. Jacob wants to put an end to this. Unfortunately, his life has been ended. Liaz goes down as well. The P90 has won them the round. What do you think of that, Tom? What a great investment.
It's a good thing I'm not allowed to swear on broadcast, because that is exactly what I want to do right now. Like, it's a pile of... It is the pre-fire machine. That's the one thing it's got going for it.
You hold it down, you hold W, and you run. You literally headbutt your way.
The funny thing is, the second he can, he gets rid of it. Oh, God. That genuinely pained my soul. But you know what? It happens sometimes. I knew the second I said that I hated it, he was going to do well with it. Oh, same spot. It is interesting to me that S-Tech seems to fall for his own tricks. Like, he was using that position an awful lot. It's difficult to counter JKS. He's now started to start. Remember early in the game, I think he was like 5 and 7. He is definitely had a come up over the last, well, 20-odd rounds and leaving Cadians down. The definite opportunities in this map for Heroic, but unfortunately, the might of this 100 Thieves side seem too much. Okay. Might not want to count my chickens before they hatch, as Stown is still standing. He's found a couple. He needs to do the same again. He can hear the footsteps around the bottom of the map. Unfortunately, he doesn't have control of the bomb, so it's going to be a long rotation. A switch up of scenery. And the problem is, it seems like the CT side are just waiting for him. Jacob as well, I think he's someone we haven't mentioned too much. 21, 18, 93. He's been chugging along nicely. Looks to try and close things out. Bit of a miss, but I like the fact that he knows just not to face this. They've got so much utility remaining. Like, this is going to be so tough for Stown to do anything. And this is where he's just going to go for the ultimate, like, YOLO play. Like, okay, they're going to be trying to just spam through. Let's just throw down a smoke and try and retrieve the bomb. The problem is the smoke didn't go anywhere near far enough.
I mean, you can see the theory behind it. You go for the full smoke tunnel, smoke on their smoke, and scrub the bomb, but it didn't really work out, did it?
No, to be fair, I don't think anything he did in that would have worked out. And
there was no salvaging it.
Yeah, if he